Games, Brains and a Head-Banging Life here with another episode of The Nasties, and quite possibly my favourite to date, but also quite possibly the worst to date.
It's a funny film. Very, very...
We are talking about Cannibal Terror, or Terry Cannibal, the French title. Didn't do that well, did I?
No.
So we have here features, including on this Blu-ray version, we have high definition Blu-ray 1080p presentation, which you do really notice 95% of the time.
Yeah, some of the shots look like it was filmed recently. It was quite bizarre.
Credible transfer, but it does have a lot of stuff edited and thrown in. Well, not a lot, where it's either stock footage or from a print they couldn't recover, basically. Uncompressed English audio, optional English subtitles. That's Not the Amazon, The Strange Story of the Eurosign Cannibal Film Cycle. That makes a hell of a lot more sense when you see it.
Yep.
A deleted scene, we didn't actually check that out, it's a pity. And a theatrical trailer, of course. It is called Cannibal Terror, so guess what it is about? Cannibals, directed by Alain Deroulier and starring Sylvia Soler, Pamela Stanford and Olivier Matot. Spanish filmmaker Jesus Franco was an uncredited co-writer on the film, which again, when you read into it, makes a ton more sense. Yeah. And this coming at 81 is probably the biggest surprise. The cannibal boom was done.
Yeah.
Like, it was done. It was dead and buried already. So to have something like this so late in the day was an odd choice as well, but also one that sticks so solidly to what cannibal movies are, lazily to the point of shock, really. But also just do it so badly, like do it so poorly, is incredible.
So
I think
cheap.
it's easily one of the cheapest, poorly made, poorly acted, and with some of the most unnecessary attempts to shock in 81, which is well past the point of shocking. Yeah. It really deserves special place amongst the Nasties. I really do. We did not expect this. When we saw Cannibal Terror,
it was like, we'll get the usual.
Yep.
We'll get the usual bad acting, normally quite offensive portrayals of natives, island natives, jangly music.
It's got all of that, except the piss poor portrayal of natives, purely because of who the natives are in this.
It was nice not feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, you won't feel uncomfortable about the portrayal in this because it's so absurdly stupid. You'll laugh more than you will be shocked. Other than a very unnecessary rape. I mean, and you we say that a lot about a lot of rapes in video nasties, but this one has one that generally boggles the mind for why it even exists. And protracted eating flesh, and scenes for cannibals. There's nothing in this movie that will offend, other than the fact you'll be bored. Yeah, because it is boring. Yep. But for those that don't know, this film shares a ton of footage with Mondo Cannibale. Say that? Cannibale, which was directed by Jess Franco. Both films share locations, cast, and even dubbing actors. Now, we've not seen Mondo, so we can't do the comparative. No. But finding that was just hilarious.
I mean, quite intrigued to watch it now, just to see, there we go, that's like Dave from the other one, popping up again.
We've got some interesting factoids as well, where some connections suggest that there's even more than just borrowing footage here. Yeah. So Sabrina Ciani is the white cannibal queen of Mondo Cannibale, and also appears in the bar scene in Cannibal Terror. Yep. Several shots of the dancing cannibal tribe in their village are common in both films, and several shots appear in one or the other. And we get a ton of these shots of these cannibals dancing in their village and bouncing up and down and getting really close to like they were told, go and jump for the camera as if it's supposed to be a person, that kind of thing. Yeah. We get a lot of that. Yeah. Easily a couple of minutes worth of nothing footage. Yeah. And a really random one as well, considering the majority of the film is this is an all-male cannibal tribe. Yeah. And we noticed that early on. And then randomly at the end, we're like, oh, that's a female
one
woman.
Dancing, yeah.
But she's obscured by smoke constantly, and all she does is dance. Yeah. And then that's it. She's never seen again.
Done.
Never seen again. Yeah. One actor with a very distinctive face and a large Mick Jagger-type mouth is seen in Cannibal Terror in no less than 3 roles. 2 cannibals and a border guard.
Wow.
He's also very visible as one of the cannibals that devours Al Cliver's wife in Mondo. Didn't know Al Cliver was on Mondo. Al Cliver, love that guy, amazing. The man who plays the guitar at the safe house in Cannibal Terror is apparently one of two guys who finds Al Cliver after he has his arm cut off on Mondo. So they basically made two films at the same time using the same...
Yeah. It's crazy. Quite like that. It's quite a fun bit of knowledge.
Yeah, but then apparently there's also more obvious ones. The connections, the cast parallels of Oliver Matot and Antonia Mayans, both of whom have starring roles in both films. Yeah. Porn star Pamela Stanford plays Manuela in Cannibal Terror and has a brief role of the unfortunate Mrs. Jeremy Taylor in Mondo. She also appeared in a number of Jess Franco's other films around this time period, including Lorna, The Exorcist, as well as the actor who plays Roberto in Cannibal Terror is the captain of the boat at the beginning of Mondo. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. That is amazing. So the basic plot is it's so basic, it's hilarious. Yeah. Which is a bunch of criminals, thieves, because that's why we were introduced to them, is trying to break into a boat and doing it badly as well. Go from that to kidnapping.
Yeah.
And it's such a jump. And not just kidnapping anyone, kidnapping a young girl.
Yep. Daughter of a car manufacturer.
Yes.
So
yes.
Set that up, didn't they, at the beginning?
Yeah, one of the thieves actually meets the girl on the street early on and finds out that basically, oh, she's got rich parents. We can kidnap her. Yeah. Gonna bring it up now. The problem with that is at no point during the actual fucking movie do they make any demands.
Yeah.
At no point do they make any hostage demands. They just take the girl, try and get across a border.
Yeah, why?
And that's it. They go meet up with another person that's involved.
Yeah.
Like and then
safe house,
yeah. And that's it.
That's it.
Now let's talk about one of the biggest issues we had with this, which is where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is this film set? This is a French-made film, which is rare in itself for a cannibal horror. Yeah. It's a French-made film. But we have no clue. We've taken so many stabs at where we think it might be, because wherever it starts in, we thought maybe Germany.
I thought France.
You thought France?
Well, the signs are in French. So I've gone with French because like the hairdresser said coiffure and it's like
right. So French city.
Yeah.
So then they're going across a border, which also apparently houses a nearby cannibal tribe.
So we thought Gibraltar because then there was loads of monkeys and loads of animals and loads of monkeys. I know obviously Gibraltar's quite famous for their monkeys.
I'm going to stop you there. No, there wasn't. There was not loads of animals. What there was loads of sound effects looped every 5 to 10 seconds.
There's quite a lot of... There's a parrot that was having fun.
The parrot, okay, fair enough. That's one animal. Oh. What it was every outside shot or sequence had these looped sounds. Yeah. And I pointed it out to you if you remember. And I said, listen, there's that monkey chattering. 10 seconds out, there's that same monkey chattering.
Yeah. But like, when it did have monkeys, we thought maybe Gibraltar because of like some of the scenery that we saw. And if you're going across the border, Gibraltar's quite close. But...
We were because the locations are so fucking weird. Well, 1 minute you'll be in like a desert looking area where there's very, very dry and rough terrain and trees. And then you would get another shot with apparently characters in a slightly different location, although they're supposed to be following each other, where it's luscious greenery. Yeah. And we were like, what the hell is going on?
That sounds back garden, like in Hot Shots.
If you've seen Hot Shots Part 2, there's a point where they make a joke where they're going for a jungle and they take a shortcut which goes across an American-style back garden. That's what it reminded us of. It is fucking terrible. But yeah, so basically they kidnap this little girl. They go to the safe house across the border. What is border? Where? What's the border? They're told like, hey, don't go wandering into the woods or jungle because there's a cannibal tribe. And again, I'm like, if everybody knows this cannibal tribe exists, shouldn't you have dealt with that problem? Yeah. Because tribe, go be yourself, tribes. Be you. Don't take the man. But if you're eating people,
they're going to be...
People need to have a quiet word with you and maybe stop you doing that. That's a problem. Yeah. And we actually see because they end up killing the driver of the car.
Oh, yeah, they want to get them across the border. Yeah, they kill her.
Kill her. And she's our first kind of... She's one of the two graphic deaths as we see her brought back. And of course, you get some boobs if that's your jam. Yeah. Just boobs, though. Everyone keeps their pants on in this. You get a lot of boobs, nothing else. Yeah. And then, like, what they've done is they've cut open an animal of some kind because it's very close up and you see a torn open stomach and the cannibals are pulling out bits. Yeah. What's hilarious is the first sequence, no one puts anything in their mouth. No. They're desperate to not put it in their mouth. and they're just picking it up and they're going there and stuff like that. And it goes on for ages.
Far too long. It's like, clearly you're not eating it, so just kind of move on.
It's fucking horrendous. Whereas later on, the second one has them putting it in their mouth, though.
Yeah,
you notice that?
Clearly sausages, though.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was clearly sausages as well. That was fun. At least they got some food, you know. Should we talk now, considering we've introduced, about the cannibals?
Yeah.
This is hilarious.
Yeah.
So they're all men, except for that woman we did briefly mention, and they're all wearing like underpants and stuff like that. They basically all went to a face painting event, and have different styles of colour.
Colours, really stupid colours.
Really, really random. A lot of them look like they've been to a fair.
Yeah, yeah. And just the ranging kind of what they look like as well. So there's...
Right, let's break them down, because let's talk about the dominant one. So predominantly there were 4 it focused on, which was the chief leader, who looked like he wished he was anywhere else and spent the entire... I've never seen him just stand there, arms folded, constantly. He'd enter the room and then immediately go back to that pose. He basically didn't know what to do with his arms, so kept them folded. Then we have his guards, or his second in command, and they're an interesting looking bunch. Do you want to talk about the one that we could not stop laughing over?
The one that looks like the former lead singer of Journey.
Yes.
They got like 80s hair. Oh, it was hilarious. It was like, I couldn't stop laughing every time we saw him. It's like singing Journey songs.
Yeah, you once you see it, you will not be able to unsee it. No. And they're basically been told, whatever you do, don't look at the camera. And they're just like that. They're constantly just like they can't. They're like if they don't cut, we're going to look at the camera. Like, they're so compelled to look at the camera. They're looking everywhere they can. The tribe leader has the best wig you've ever seen.
Just the wigs. Loads of them have really dodgy wigs. One guy looks like an accountant, like a really bored, overweight accountant.
Yeah, him.
It's like a comb over.
There's a great scene where as well, like they're running through the jungle and he, being a little bit overweight and all that, can't keep up. So now, like, you got these two running together, and then there's like the shot stays, and then he's just puffing away. Like, you think it's a joke movie.
Yeah. And then there's a one with my second favourite was one with mutton chops.
Oh, the mutton chops guy.
Proper big, like 70s, like late 70s mutton chops, and I'm like, I can't keep my eyes off his mutton chops. Maybe they're just so funny. One guy had like a nice pin-up tattoo.
Oh yeah, the pin-up tattoo guy. Yeah, you could see a clear pin-up tattoo on his chest.
Yeah, they were
like,
worst.
Goodness me.
Yeah, so it was quite funny. It was quite nice. It kind of, because I'm watching a silly film anyway, it was quite nice to have like the full-on silliness. We
ended up enjoying these aspects of it because it was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
This is almost fun to see what next dumb shit you're going to do. You know, as well, like with the tribes as well, where and who and what they are, like in regards to like location. So obviously in Cannibals, we often portray black characters as the cannibals and Paulie and so on. Well, there's no black characters in this. No. There's just a wide range of tan to white. Yeah. And it even makes it even more confusing. Yeah. How and why? Like, some of them are clearly white guys. Some are clearly maybe from... Yeah, like Hispanic and stuff like that. It's like, how did this tribe come about? And back to that thing again. How, when there's no women?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Where did you come from?
Like, yes, what on earth is this? Did you just decide? Did you just leave France City one day and go, you know, I'm going to be a cannibal. Yeah. We'll create a tribe and eat people.
Yeah.
Like, that's our thing. But... as entertaining as all of that crap is, we must stress it's so boring. The cannibal shit.
So much walking as well.
We'll get into that in a bit, but the cannibal shit, the cannibal stuff, the dancing, the constantly in your face camera stuff, the overly long eating flesh crap, it goes on for ages. And when you think it's done, it'll go back to it again. Yeah. And it acts like there's some sort of threat, but they're really fucking not. And we just couldn't place where as well they were located. It was so puzzling. It was so fucking weird. But yes, of course, back to our criminales. And they obviously, to get the border, they go stay with a fella and his wife, who is the porn actress we mentioned along. I didn't know she was a porn actress, which is weird because you'd think she'd be up for getting a bit more naughty. But she doesn't. Yeah. She doesn't. Yeah.
When you said that, I was like, oh, I thought at first it might be the other one because everyone seems like they're a bit more. It was more implied that she's a bit more kind of frisky.
Well, there is an aspect of the women being portrayed in a certain way here, and the one you were talking about, you know, she went as a very see-through summer dress on her top and stuff like that. But she's not actually. I mean, you do get some. She is topless at the end of the movie, but it's done, dare I say, tastefully, so to speak. But anyway, they're staying at this place and wait. I don't know what are they there for? What are they waiting for?
Nothing's explained.
Nothing is explained. Like, are they there? Do they get picked up and go somewhere else? What is going on?
Yeah.
But they end up, one of them ends up raping fucking their host's wife. And that sequence it's utterly, I'll take my glass off on my eyes. It goes on for ages. Not the rape itself. Caption her, he follows her. Oh, of course, actually, we've forgotten.
Yeah,
he watches her bathe. Yeah. She watched her bathe, and she did not want to do that scene.
It's cold.
You can see it's cold by the wind blowing, and she's in this outdoor bath with probably cold water.
Yeah.
And she is washing like her life depends on it.
Yeah. Yeah, get out now.
Yeah, proper quick, He's watching her, she sees him and she's annoyed by that, but he ends up chasing her into the woods, jungle, whatever. And it was hilarious. She goes from running away from him to the next shot, running away from him, holding a rope.
Yeah.
The same rope that will then be used in a minute to then tie her up. And it's like, where did the rope come from? Yeah. Why did you pick up the rope? Anyway, as well, him attempting to tie her up. So he's trying to tie her up between two trees. I don't know why they made it so convoluted. But he can't. Because she's got to act like she's struggling with him.
Yeah.
And he can't quite do it. So the camera constantly cutting. And the position will have changed. Yeah. Like at one point as well, like the ties around her arms are different. At one point, she's clearly holding the fucking rope.
It's ridiculous.
And then he rapes her standing up.
Yeah.
It's not graphic or anything like that. It's not at all. It's stupid because it's like, okay, it's just...
And it makes no sense why you would insult someone that's keeping you safe. It's really bizarre writing.
It's really bizarre. And it comes out of nowhere because at no point did this guy come across as a lecherous weirdo.
No.
And it comes out of nowhere. He rapes her and then he just leaves her. She's later found by her husband. And we were like, okay, cool, right? So what's he going to do and so on. At this point as well, our hostage... the young girl, her parents have found out where they are, and they're on their way with a bunch of new cast members that we've not seen before.
Yeah.
We also get a weird flirty scene between a guy playing a guitar and one of the thieves, the woman, that goes on for ages as she sits there touching herself and he's playing the guitar. Oh, no, showing off her leg while he plays the guitar. Watch that scene. It is hilarious. The music he's playing, and watch his fingers. He is not playing that tune.
No.
It is no way, not even close. It's implied they have sex.
Yeah.
Don't see anything, it's implied.
Yeah, that's never a surprise as well, because normally they're full of trashy sex in these films.
Very strange, right?
Very strange.
But yeah, so basically the parents of our child are on their way to go and get her back. There's a weird scene again about like drag that shit where he's trying to cross the border and his passport's out of date and his visa's out of date, and then they do a scene where they're talking to the visa guard and it becomes about money, and it's just like, why did we even need that?
Yeah.
Could we not just had you crossing the border? I mean, you do anyway, and it goes nowhere. But he got a load of people with them, and he's now dressed in army camo and shit like that. Then we cut to a really random party scene where they're all drunk and having a good time at the hostage place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Roberto, which is the husband of the woman that was raped.
Yeah.
Like, we got the impression, okay, they're planning something here. And they are kind of, but it doesn't really come to fruition in the same way it should.
Yeah.
And it's like he's watching his wife dance, and she's like flinging her dress and all that. And she's flirting as well with the guy that raped her and things like that. So you are kind of thinking you're getting a bit of an I spit in your grave vibe here. Yeah. Doesn't really work out that way at all.
No.
As the next day, Roberto and the rapist go off into the woods. Roberto even gives him a gun, but ends up turning the tables on him and stuff like that. He does kill him. He does kill him, obviously. And later we see the cannibals got to his body and ripped it apart.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Don't really care about that.
Yeah, don't really care about it. And then we get one of the longest, most dragging, where this movie stops being entertaining. As we have the hostage takers making their way through the woods. And we have the family of the hostage following them. And then we also throw in the rape victim deciding she's going to follow them. It's like 3 different groups walking. And then we have the cannibals constantly popping up and looking around and following and stuff like that. It is tiresome.
And it's like, obviously they can't walk through the
oh, everyone's tripping and falling.
Everyone's tripping and falling. Oh, it's just physically, I was watching it going, oh, it's got to stop soon. It's got to stop soon. Oh no, we can't. Someone else walking around.
No. Yeah, and it really is.
Bad.
To cut a long story short, it ends where you expect it to, at the cannibal village, with the thieves getting tied up and eaten and stuff like that. The little girl is protected for some reason and sort of sent to play with the other kids. Then the parents turn up, and one of them with them talks to the cannibals, and they're basically like, oh yeah, we took care of your problem for you in a language you don't understand, like we don't understand.
I don't get that, no.
And they give back the girl, and that's the film. And it's like, the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah, it really was like, wow.
But it has such an entertainment value because it is one of the worst made. It's easily the worst made video nasty we've seen.
Definitely.
Easily the worst one. I'd be shocked if anything beats this, just for how poorly made it is. There might be bad ones that we think are terrible, but there's going to be very little that tops
this,
the chaotic nature of this film.
Yeah. And now we find out, when you look at what we found out about afterwards, it makes sense. If you're sharing cast, and like, how confusing is that? If you're like on both films, obviously the money was so super tight.
Yeah.
So it all comes across.
Yeah, it just feels like two films were made. They took a load of scenes and sewn them together and went, all right, cool, we've got another one we can pump out here. Like trying to, oh yeah, we paid these actors, we've got them on set, let's just use them for this.
Yeah.
And we can get another movie out there and hopefully it's been successful. Why it's a nasty, as I said, the only things I can think of is the extended gore of the eating scenes. Yeah. I don't think it's the rape. I don't think it's that at all, because it's so fucking tame.
I think it's the word cannibal as well. I think that kind of automatically
Oh yeah, you know about this actually,
Yeah, I think it automatically flags a box. If you put the word cannibal in your movie title, they're going to go, well, that's trouble, that's problematic. Let's kind of like look into it and ban it outright. So called it a video nasty, and it is so tame. It
really is incredible. Even the eating shots, it's so obviously animal. Like I said, so obviously animals in the first part, and the second part, it's so obviously said they're biting, and it's like, oh, that's a sausage.
Yeah,
that you pointed out straight away. That's how easy it was to spot. That's all you get. There's nothing else elsewhere. There's no blood or guts or anything like that. Aside from our brief rape scene, there's no sexual violence. There's a little bit of nudity, but that is part of the course of 1981.
Definitely.
But here's the thing. Watch this movie.
Yeah.
Do watch it. If you're following along with us, doing the nasties as we go along, or you're watching them all yourself, watch this fucking one, because it's gonna be remembered as one of the more uniquely watched films of this series.
Definitely.
And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I like
that.
And if you've seen it, of course, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?